we go. This is how we do the Microsoft Excel analysis for our data project here. As you can see on my screen is a blank Microsoft Excel workbook. So the first step would be to type in your data, obviously. So that's step one. Type all of your data into two columns. Use column A for the independent variable and column B for the dependent variable. So I'm just going to make up an example on the fly here. I'm going to say number of hours exercising per week. Where'd that go? Hold on one second. Number of hours exercising per week. And mood on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm just going to make these columns wider so you could see them all. You can see my data going in. So that's step one. I'm just going to make up numbers real quick. So 5 hours, 1 hour, 0, 11, 18, 6, 3, 0, 0, 4, and 7. And then let's say mood is a 6, 4, 7, 6, 9.5, 7.5, 5, 4, 1, 7, and 8. Okay, so you're going to type all your data in. Of course, you should have 50 data points for this. I only did about 10, but the analysis will work just the same whether or not you have 10 or 50 points. Step two, highlight all your data with the cursor. So now our data is highlighted. Now Microsoft Excel knows exactly where to grab the data from, and you guys this should all be very familiar to you since we did that unit back a couple chapters ago when we did all the graphs in Microsoft Excel. Go to the top and go to Insert, and over here you'll see all the different charts. We want to pick the scatter plot chart right there. See that XY scatter? That's the one we want to pick. You could hit this little drop down right here. If you want, you could do these big bubbled ones. You don't have to. I'm just going to do the basic scatter plot right there. And we see our scatter plot appears right on the screen there. I'm just going to make it wider and larger. Okay, you could change all this stuff if you want. I'll make it black with blue points. So now you have your scatter plot on the screen, and we need to now do a couple things with this scatter plot. We need to add some chart elements. So like usually when you click, that little green plus sign will pop up. I don't know why mine is not here. Sometimes it doesn't, but you could also, when you click on it, you could go you could add chart elements. Where is it? Of course it disappeared on me now that I'm recording. Here, over here, add chart elements. Okay. So we want to add axes titles. Right, so now we have our axes titles, all the same stuff that we did in that previous unit, right? So I'm going to write number of hours exercising per week, and then on the y-axis we're going to write mood on a scale of 1 to 10, right? So all the same stuff applies from the previous unit. What else do we want to do? Well, we want to add a trend line, okay? So we go down the trend line. We want a linear trend line, okay? So there's our trend line, which we did this already when we did the first lesson of chapter 4, when we added trend lines, when we did our track activity, where we collected all the data, when we did our laps around the track. We added the trend line, and now what we want to do is get the equation of the trend line. So you could do that one of two ways. You could just go to chart element and then go to trend line and more trend line options, or you could right click on the trend line and this will also show up. It'll say format trend line. You could do either one. Okay, and what we want to do is click down here, and this is step 7 in the direction sheet. Under trend line options, you want to click the boxes for display equation on chart and display R squared value on chart. You want to click those two options on. And now it comes up very tiny here, but this box right here is our equation and our R squared. It's hard to see. Let me see if I could just enlarge this. Hold on. Change the font size. Yeah, I don't know why it comes out so small, but there we go. That's better. So here's our equation. Y equals 0.2941x plus 4.4385, and it gives you the R squared value. Okay? Now, what we also need is the R value. So if it tells us R squared, then to get the R value, you just have to square root that number. So the square root, I'm just using my calculator over here. The square root of 0.4865 is 0.6975. So I want you to write the R squared and the R value right on the plot there. Okay, and then that's it, actually. Believe it or not, once you get the R value and you have the R squared in your equation and you have everything labeled, I'm forgetting one thing, a title. Title of your chart. So here's where you're going to put the thing that you're studying. So in this case, does more exercise contribute to a better overall mood? So that's my chart title. I wanted to see if exercise creates happiness or compels people to feel better or just improves people's mood. So that would be my title. And we could see the nature of our data is positive, right? The trend line is going up. So that generally means that more exercise per week leads to a higher mood on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a fairly moderate 0.69, 0.70 is a moderate strength of the correlation. So it's bordering on moderate and even strong. So there's a pretty good indicator that exercise does impact mood in a positive way. And then that's it. Then you save it, and then this is what you're going to submit. I want to see this file. I want to see your data input. I want to see your graph. I want to see the equation, the R squared and the R value. And then you're going to also submit the sheet that you collected all your data on, all the data sources, and then the summary sheet. All right, everyone. So that's it for the Excel stuff. It's really straightforward and easy. So you should be able to get this all done in one period. And let me know if you have any more questions. The summary sheet, we could do that in a separate video. I'm going to stop this video now. All right. Good luck, everyone.